SUVs have become a common sight on German streets, mostly because these useful vehicles also offer a pleasant driving experience. Today, our tester, Mathis Kurat, is checking out one of these modern workhorses from the ground up. Mathis says that you used to need locomotives or other means to transport heavy loads, like this one here that was used in a salt mine up in the mountains. But nowadays, he says, it's simpler and easier to do it with a car like the VW Touareg. It can tow up to 3 tons, and he's going to be testing the 3-litre TDI version today. VW's BlueMotion series is the car maker's low-consumption line. And to live up to the reputation, the car has not only a stop-start automatic function, but a regenerative brake energy recovery system. And in terms of travelling comfort, the Touareg is top-notch. Mathis says that when you order the optional pneumatic suspension, you have 3 settings to choose from: comfortable, normal and sporty, so you can adjust it depending on the terrain. If you're off-roading, you set the level high. When you're back on the Autobahn, he says, then you can dial it back down.
Wenn ich auf der Autobahn unterwegs bin, drehe ich die Niveauregulierung wieder nach unten.
According to VW, the Touareg burns an average 7.6 litres of fuel for 100 kilometres on the road. That was way off the number in our test, 9.9, but we did push it to the limit at times. The 176 kilowatts of power accelerate the SUV to 100 kilometres an hour in 7.8 seconds. The VW speed topped out at 218 kilometres an hour. The Touareg's exterior design makes a dynamic, muscular impression. The typical VW nose is similar to that of the Jetta, Passat and Polo. Its attractive silhouette makes the Touareg look powerful, but not pretentious. The interior is spacious and inviting. That's partially due to the overall feeling of excellent workmanship and choice of materials, especially when it comes to the comfortable leather seats. Mathis says that he mentioned back at the start of the report that the Touareg can pull quite a bit. Today, he isn't going to be transporting anything like these pillars of rock, just a couple of normal suitcases. But they're pretty heavy. Fortunately, he says, he can use the pneumatic suspension to lower the loading surface in back, so he doesn't have to heave the bags up so high. That makes the loading of the trunk easier, he says. If you want to transport more than 2 suitcases, then that's no problem, says Mathis. The unaltered trunk has a 580-litre volume, up to around 670 litres if you fill it all the way to the roof. And if you lower the back seats by pressing this button, then you have 1,642 litres of space. If that still isn't enough for you, he says, then you can press another button to extend this optional tow coupling and add a trailer weighing up to 3 tons. If that still isn't enough for you, then Mathis suggests buying a commercial truck rather than a Touareg. Another very useful feature is a system that gives you a bird's eye view of the car, continues our car tester. It all works through cameras installed in both the side mirrors, as well as one in the front and another in the back. It gives you a good view of everything happening around the car. For example, you can see if a small child is on the right-hand side of the vehicle. You can see the audio sound engineer crouched outside the car, says Mathis. Without the camera, he wouldn't be visible because he's too close to the ground. That's a practical safety feature that also makes a lot of sense for a car the size of the Touareg. At 4 meters 80 long, 170 tall and 1 meter 94 centimeters in width, the SUV is not the easiest car in the world to find a parking space for. So what does our test driver think at the end of the day? Mattis says there's very little to criticise on the VW Touareg. One of the things that does bother him, however, is the price. The basic version in Germany costs just over €50,000, and there are plenty of extras like the rear-view cameras, electric leather seats and other goodies that you'll definitely want to have as well. Another problem is consumption, although the BlueMotion version is actually economical enough, he thinks. Otherwise, the workmanship, both inside and out, meets pretty much every wish. And if you open your wallet wide enough, he says, then the extras are excellent. The handling and drivetrain are also great. All in all, the Touareg is a big improvement over this locomotive. Especially because with the Touareg, you don't have to lay any tracks to get where you want to go.